What's up everyone, my name is Tim and this is the Timo Show, and in today's video we're going to do an interior paint job recap. It's a 1,400 square foot job where I got hired to paint the doors, the trim, and the ceiling, and of course the walls. So when I get hired to do a job like this and it has deep colors like this red wall here, I like to put on a base coat prior to really getting started. So I'm going to spray on a base coat onto this wall, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we'll put a couple more coats on top to make sure it's nice and solid. I like to have a back roller with me, and a back roller is my helper there. I'm putting the paint on the wall, he comes back through, back rolls it so it's nice and uniform, and then we put a top coat on. Anytime that there's wood floors like you see here, you could use a canvas drop if you have plenty of them, but for me it's a preference to use this red rosin paper. I put the red rosin paper down for several different reasons. One reason is I feel like it's a little safer when placing the ladders, and secondly, I feel like it's easier to sweep up. So if you use your canvas drops on these wooden areas, you're going to get a lot of dust, and then when you take those canvas drops into your next project, you're tracking that dust with you. So I like to use these because they just go in the trash. It's fairly inexpensive. So in the carpeted areas here, you see that I did use a drop, and what I do is I lay a drop down or rosin paper. I go around the perimeter with tape here. I'm using a 1.5 inch tape on the perimeter, and then I bridge that gap with paper, with brown masking paper. You can see there I have the drop, the masking paper, and then it's secured up tied up against the baseboards. So again, like I said, I spray. I'm using a 312 tip here, which is a 6-inch fan, but it's not really letting out too much paint, so we kind of want to conserve. If you're using a big tip, like say a 415 or a 417, I feel like you're going to be wasting a lot of paint and you don't really have as much control. I tend to use these tips because you have a little more control. It gets a good suitable amount of paint on there for your back roller to come through and back roll it, and then you come back and top coat it. This particular job is going to be a $3,000 job. It's about an hour away from my house, and it cost me about about 30 bucks to get there. So it'll be a 3-day job I'm anticipating. The paint will be, I think, about 500 bucks, and I'll pay my helper there $20 an hour. If we get the job done any amount of time faster than what I had anticipated, I always pay my helpers a little bit more. And it does happen sometimes. I know some of you are out there like, yeah, right, that never happens, but it does. It definitely happens. Make sure you guys, when you are spraying, to wear the proper protective equipment. Here, I'm not wearing gloves, and I kind of regret it. I wish I did wear gloves, because when you get that paint on you, it really just absorbs through your skin, and who knows what kind of health repercussions it could have. I've been very fortunate, but I do wear a respirator to not be inhaling all the particulates from when you do spray. And if you guys are curious as to the type of equipment that I am using to get this job done, scroll down in the description below, and I do have a segment where it says the paint equipment I use, and I leave links for everything that I use. And if you do click on one of those links, and anything that you buy within a 24-hour period, I do earn a small commission from, and I greatly appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Also, if you landed on this video because you're interested in maybe getting into the paint business, it's a very cheap business to get into compared to other trades. The paint business, you could probably get in to a fully professional business for about 10 grand, and that would include all the equipment, even a vehicle. You could also operate a small paint business under a handyman license. Now, I don't know where you guys live, but I know that I live in California, and I know a handyman license runs you about, I think it's $300, maybe $450. The price goes up over the years. And with that painting license, you're allowed to do jobs up to about $500. So if you're thinking about getting started in it, you could literally go and you could get a bucket. You can get yourself a roller, you get yourself a brush and a couple of drops, and you're ready to go. And if you're not sure how to charge in the beginning, what I would do is I would just look at a job, and I would anticipate this job would take me 2 days to do. And at that time, you know where your skill level is and your skill set is. And basically, that's why they call it an estimate, because you estimate the amount of time you think it's going to take you. So if it's going to take you 2 days and you think you're worth $150 a day for an 8-hour day, then you charge the person $300. And what you could do is you tell them time and material. If you're really unsure in the beginning, this is a way to get the job, but you got to make sure that you really hustle and make sure that they feel like they're getting the bang for the buck. If you're going to charge them by the hour, you really want to be there when you say you're going to be there. You want to stay as long as you're going to stay, and you want to make sure that you're really hustling and not taking a lot of breaks, because then they're going to want to, talk you down off the price. But when you get started, That's a great way to bid out the job. Is you say, okay, it's 2 days. I need $150 a day to, you know, pay my bills, to stay afloat, whatever the situation is. Maybe it's $200, maybe it's $100. I don't know. But you think about what you need to make in 1 day, and then that's what you do. You multiply it by the amount of days that it's going to take you to do it. And if it takes more, then you learn your lesson. And the next time, you know, you adjust it accordingly. A great way to find jobs also is to little videos like this of myself painting. You know, you could trim them down. I've done this once before and it was highly effective. I'm really blown away at how well it did work. I posted a little 1-minute video on my Instagram and on my Facebook and different social platforms like that, and just said, hey, you know, free estimates if you need a painter. I'm a painter, you know, and it's cool. And it really translates better, I think, than a picture does, or maybe even an ad, because it's your personal ad, and then somebody will see it, and then when somebody does ask, they'll refer you to it. So that's how I get a lot of my jobs. I will say about 75% of my jobs do come from Facebook. When somebody goes on, I have a citywide Facebook page, and when people ask, you know, anybody in town know a painter, my name comes up several times, and it's really been a big help. And I was getting a little slow there a few months back, and I put about a 30-second video up on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I got calls left and right, and almost too many bids to go out on, really. So, you know, if you guys are like these types of videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and make sure you put a yes please in the comments section. That way I know you guys do like them, and you guys made it this far in the video, and then that means I'm gonna make some more. So a little backstory, we wanted to take a picture like rock stars with our paint equipment. Chris there, he's actually a guitarist for my band, Terrible Timing, and I sing, so you can see me doing the Aerosmith little pose right there. Alright, you guys, this is Tim, and this has been a paint recap video, and this is the Tim O Show, and I see you guys in my next video. But I gotta get that squirrel. I gotta find that squirrel. She lost it completely. Where'd the squirrel go? It was right here. I know that squirrel was right here. I know that squirrel. I know that squirrel was here. You lost it. Where'd the squirrel go? Zelda! 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 You looking for the squirrel? Zelda! Where's that squirrel? Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel go? Where's the squirrel? I know there's a squirrel. I know there's a squirrel. Where's the squirrel? Where's the squirrel? I know there's a squirrel over here somewhere. You know? Where's that squirrel? Is that squirrel, Zelda? Oh man. You lost the squirrel, Zelda. What'd you do? You had one job, Zelda. You didn't get the squirrel. There'll be more. It's okay.